Welcome to reality. You're now on the Code of Mind channel. Scientists have proven a fact that is deeply unsettling. Every time you dive into a memory, you are not replaying it like a video file, you are rewriting it. In neuroscience, this process is called reconsolidation. This means your past is not a dusty archive locked in a basement. It is a living document, open for editing right now. The moment you bring a memory into consciousness, it becomes plastic, like raw clay. You can unconsciously change the color of the walls, the tone of a conversation, or even the scale of the event. And when you store it back into memory, the original is permanently erased. It no longer exists. But here's the disturbing question. If the file is open for editing, who is actually pressing save? Are you sure it's you? Or is it algorithms, working through news, music, and social pressure, quietly adjusting your internal logs? Why are millions of people around the world, in different countries, speaking different languages, suddenly remembering a reality that, according to official history and Wikipedia, never existed? This is not just bad memory. This is a trace of systemic interference. And today, we're going to break down the technology of the Great Reset. I will show you how the Matrix erases the logs of previous versions of reality, and why your most personal memories may be nothing more than a fresh day one patch, a system update installed while you were asleep. Get ready. Right now, we are going to test how deep this update has gone into your mind. Let's start with facts that no skeptic can deny. Official science has long discovered the vulnerabilities in our system, but prefers to call them features of the psyche. Back in the 1970s, psychologist Elizabeth Loftus conducted a series of experiments that forever changed our understanding of memory. She proved false memories can be implanted into absolutely anyone. In her famous Lost in the Mall experiment, 25% of participants began to clearly remember how they got lost in a shopping mall as children, cried, and were rescued by a kind old man. The terrifying part? This event never happened. But once researchers introduced a few indirect details, the brain filled in the gaps on its own, adding smells, sounds, and even fake emotions. There is also what's known as the DRM paradigm. Under laboratory conditions, it has been confirmed. With up to 80% accuracy, the human brain creates memories of events or words that were never experienced, based purely on logical associations. If you're shown a list of words like bed, rest, quiet, dream, an hour later, you will confidently insist that the word sleep was on the list, even though it wasn't. Your biological computer is simply optimizing data, replacing reality with the most probable prediction. But why does this matter right now? Because science officially recognizes something called a source monitoring error, a fundamental flaw in consciousness. Your brain cannot reliably distinguish where information came from. It doesn't store tags like, "This actually happened," "This was a dream," or "I read this online." It labels events only by emotional intensity, and that is the back door into your mind. If a strong enough emotional trigger is created, fear, shock, mass hysteria, any past can be written into you. You will remember what never happened, and deny what you saw with your own eyes, simply because the new version feels more emotionally real. And this is where we reach the edge of the abyss. If science can easily explain how one person's memory glitches, how does it explain moments when all of humanity glitches at once? When millions of people remember the same detail that has been erased from every archive? You've probably heard of the Mandela Effect. This phenomenon has long outgrown the label of an internet theory. Hundreds of thousands of people around the world, who have never met each other, clearly remember a monocle on the Monopoly man. They remember a cornucopia on the Fruit of the Loom logo. But if you check official archives or find vintage items from the 80s, there is nothing. No monocle, no cornucopia. Officially, and they never existed. Conventional psychology will try to calm you down. They'll call it collective confabulation, a trick of imagination, But in the deeper layers of Reddit, a far more disturbing term is gaining traction: quantum memory leak. This is not a perception error. This is corrupted reality data, glitched pixels left behind after a large-scale operation. Imagine that our world is a complex codebase. When a system administrator makes global changes to redirect the course of history, they rewrite physical carriers, newspapers, videos, products on store shelves. Matter is flexible for those who have access permissions. But human consciousness is different. It is an autonomous node. And sometimes, during massive updates, the system fails to fully synchronize code with player memory. A leak occurs. A leak is the moment when you still carry data from a previous version of reality. You remember how things actually were, while the environment around you insists that it has always been different. This is a conflict between two versions of reality inside one mind. A leak is your last chance to hold on to truth. A reset is the aggressive process where the system, through education, media, and social pressure, forces you to accept the new version. Ask yourself, why are these glitches increasing? Why is the memory of millions starting to contradict physical evidence? We are in a phase of intensive log rewriting. The matrix is rushing, and it is leaving traces. The only question is, do you have the courage to trust your own memory more than what appears on your screen? The Great Memory Reset is not a random bug. It is a multi-layered technology of consciousness cleansing, happening right now. To understand its scale, you need to see all three levels. Level 1. Personal. This is direct editing. Psychologists know, in moments of intense stress or shock, human memory becomes highly unstable. Every crisis, every media bombardment. This is the moment your identity file is opened for editing. Trauma is a hacked tool. In that short window, while you are disoriented, the system uploads new beliefs, values, and fears. And just days later, you passionately defend ideas that felt absurd to you a week ago. You think it was your choice, but in reality, you just installed a patch. Level 2. Collective. We are a civilization with forced amnesia. The architects of the system know. A population without memory is programmable. History is no longer rewritten over centuries. It is rewritten in cycles, every 10-20 years. Change one generation, and old meanings disappear. Remove a person's real past, and you remove their foundation. Without roots, you become a child who will believe any story because there is nothing to compare it to. Level 3. Systemic. What Reddit calls a civilization-level glitch. This is a global update of the matrix engine itself. When system load becomes critical, administrators perform defragmentation. Old logs, events, entire layers of reality are erased to free space for a new architecture. The Mandela Effect is not your brain failing. It is residual cache data. Files already deleted from reality, but still stored in your consciousness. Because you are not just a user, you are a biological computer with unique code. The system feeds on your disorientation. A person who cannot rely on their own memory, who doubts what they saw yesterday, is the perfect subject. They don't need to build physical prisons. They just need to trap you in uncertainty about your past. So how do you know if your memory has already been reset? The system leaves scars. First sign, the empty frame effect. You know something happened. You remember the fact. But when you zoom in, there is nothing. No details. No sounds. No faces. Just a sterile white void. This means you were given a summary, not the original file. Real memories are heavy, so the system saves resources by giving you compressed shortcuts. Second sign, shifting reality. Notice, does your memory change every time you retell it? Today, a blue jacket. A month later, black. This is not forgetfulness. This is reconsolidation. Your file is currently active on the server, and the system adjusted in real time to match your current state and avoid cognitive dissonance. Third sign, emotional phantom. Do you feel strong emotions about the past, fear, pain, excitement, but cannot visualize the event? The emotion exists. The image does not. This is a trace of rough deletion. The picture was erased, but the chemical imprint remained in your body. This is the clearest sign. Your file was edited while active. This is not aging. This is not bad memory. This is the work of an external editor. And now, the most important question. If your memories are the only foundation of your identity, and they change without your awareness, who are you? Are you the person who once ran barefoot in the grass and made promises to themselves? Or are you just an updated interface installed this morning to fit the system's needs? If tomorrow the Matrix decides you never loved the people you love now, you won't even notice. You will just wake up with a new past. Your only protection is awareness. Right here, right now. Do not let them press save for you. Thank you for being with me on this channel. I wish you the best possible branch of reality. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care.